It's been over a decade since an NHL team has managed to come back from a 2-0 deficit in the Stanley Cup Finals. The last team to do it was back in 2011 when the Boston Bruins somehow managed to climb back in that series against the Canucks. And with the Oilers being down 2-0 to the Panthers right now, they have a very large mountain to climb if they want to win 4 out of the next 5. Well, welcome back to the channel. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals is in the books, and today what I'm going to do is give you guys a review of that game, recapping all of the action, as well as giving you guys my prediction for who I think is going to win in game 3. So let's just start with the Oilers because there's a lot of controversy surrounding this team right now. Now, I picked the Oilers in 7, and I'm already starting to regret my pick because all of the concerns that I had for this team are showing up big time in this series. Now, the one thing that I think the Oilers have struggled with all postseason long is depth scoring. Sure, you get your points from Draisaitl, Hyman, and of course McDavid, but now when you look at it after those 3 players, you're really not getting much production from any of the other guys, especially their bottom 6, as well as their defense looking like they belong in the minors. I mean, they can't stop a fly from entering their zone. But let's start with the offense. I think more credit needs to be given to the defensive unit of the Panthers rather than just criticizing the Oilers and their offensive production. They're smothering them at the blue line, they're not allowing them to set up in the zone, and their physicality is just way too much for the Oilers to handle. If you take a look at a lot of the goals that the Oilers scored throughout the entire regular season and start of the postseason, you'll notice a lot of them are right inside the crease. Guys like Hyman getting those rebounds and just stuffing them in there, where Florida just isn't allowing that to happen in this series. They're bumping them off the puck, giving them a lot of problems when it comes to just kind of controlling the possession in their zone. And I think that Edmonton, they just weren't expecting this. They just kind of came in with the exact same game plan and just haven't been able to adjust. I also think that when it comes to their power play, it's been pretty embarrassing for this team as they have yet to score a power play goal in this series and continue to struggle on their special teams. Now, I don't think that this means that the series is over for the Oilers. Of course, they can come back in game 3 at home and sort of reset the series. There is a saying that quotes, "A series doesn't start until a home team loses." And with Edmonton heading back down to their home barn, I do think that they can take a lot of energy from the crowd and just sort of kind of reset themselves from what happened in those first 2 matchups. As for the Florida Panthers, I don't think they should change a single thing about their game plan. They are dominating in this series in every single category. Their offense is getting whatever they want. Like I said, their defense is just phenomenal right now, and Sergei Bobrovsky is just on another level, proving why he was nominated for a Vezina this year, something I think people forget way too often. I'm loving the performances from guys like Evan Rodriguez, who are contributing in every big moment that they can. Barkov looking like the top-notch underrated player that we all have seen him become over the past few seasons, as well as those gritty forwards like Bennett, Tkachuk, all of them just taking the cookies away from the Edmonton Oilers and giving them absolutely nothing to work with. Watching a hockey team like Florida makes you wish that every team played like this. They're getting contributions from all of their players, and their game plan from Paul Maurice has just been perfect to a T. Now, moving forward to game 3, I do think that a lot needs to change for Edmonton if they even want to get one of these games under their belt. First off, Stuart Skinner needs to have a performance above a .900 save percentage. He's yet to do that in the finals, and while I don't think it's entirely his fault, I do think that when it comes to a position like this, you need to be stepping up big time and stealing games the way that Sergei Bobrovsky has, not only in this series, but throughout the entire playoffs. I also think that the defense needs to figure out whatever's going on. You can't have guys like Darnell Nurse looking like they belong on the 3rd line. That's just not going to work, especially at home when this is a game that will completely decide the series because the Oilers aren't going to come back from 3-0. That's just not going to happen. I also think that the offense needs to at least try to figure out something in order to get bucks in the back of the net. I'm talking about McDavid, Draisaitl. You guys need to step up here. You've been doing it all season long, so why would things be changing in this series? If you're not going to get the depth scoring, you guys need to figure out if we need to maybe move them around in the lineup, get a few other guys to move up in the lineup, switch up something because whatever's going on right now just isn't working. Again, for the Panthers, keep to the same game plan. You're smothering this team. They have no answer for you right now, and if you can continue on this route, I could see this being a sweep. After watching those first two, I have a very hard time rooting for Edmonton in this one. I think that the Panthers are going to come out hungry and steal one on the road, but I don't think that the Oilers are going to give up game 3 necessarily. So I'm going to take the Oilers in game 3 and probably the Panthers in game 4, because at this point, I do think Florida is going to win this series. But I do think Edmonton's going to come out with a better game plan in this one, probably get a couple power play goals if they get the opportunity, and kind of cement themselves as the offensive team they've been in this postseason rather than the one we've seen over the past few games. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, some stuff you would like to see Edmonton change, as well as your predictions for this series if you haven't let me know yet. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content. I'll see you guys in the next one.